with us live on Twitch or on YouTube, we do have a question queue open. If you have any questions as we are going through, feel free to drop those into the chat. We'll make sure to address them while we are here and live together. But let me tell you guys a little bit about Shannon, and then we'll kind of get into the questions. But as I mentioned today, I'm talking with Shannon Michelle. She is a traumatic brain injury survivor. She's an author, and she's a living example of what it means to rebuild after life completely falls apart. A few years ago, Shannon survived a severe motorcycle accident that left her in a coma with major injuries and short-term memory loss. As she began piecing her life back together, she was hit with another devastating challenge, a breast cancer diagnosis. She has a new memoir called Step Into Your Miracle, where she shares how she went from broken to brilliant, learning to find gratitude, balance, and purpose again through the power of mindset and neuroplasticity, which we are going to talk about tonight. Shannon's story is really about more than survival. It's about rediscovering yourself when everything you thought you know is gone. And if you are looking to connect with Shannon anywhere, I've got a couple of links for you. We've got a website link, a book link. If you want to go buy her book, you can buy that on Amazon. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of those are coming to the chat right now. So feel free to pop those in, I'm popping those in. Y'all feel free to go ahead and connect with her whenever you do get those in there. So let me make sure those went through. Looks good. Okay. So Shannon, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening and joining us. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to get into this with you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to share, and I'm an open book. So you go right ahead.
Perfect. Oh, you know what? I do need to change one thing here. I'm glad I noticed that real quick before we got too far into this. Let me just update this question queue. Okay, we should be good now. So if y'all have any questions, pop them in. We'll get to them. But Shannon, oh, there we go. Okay, I must have hit the 0 button. Nope, I've got a keybind for Discord where it mutes me if I hit the 0 key, and I guess I hit the 0 key when I was updating the cube. That's okay. So I'm
glad you fixed it.
Yeah, I would love to know what inspired you to start sharing your story.
Oof. I think I originally started sharing my story with myself because I was rebuilding myself and my life and my memory and my existence. And I kept having to figure out ways to see myself differently. And so I would wake up, honestly, like each morning and kind of be kind of overwhelmed with all the changes, like, where am I? What am I doing? And I had to start re-seeing myself, like waking up and not worrying about what I knew or where I was or what I could remember, but just being present. And I came into a place where that was the only way I could survive, honestly, through the pain, through the concept of all of the broken parts and pieces, because some are more obvious than others, but like literally my whole body was broken. I have new hips, wrists broke, you name it, and everything kind of went and broke. And there was a lot of recovery surgeries. I had, in a wheelchair, couldn't walk for a certain amount of time. Brain trauma, couldn't remember anything. And I used to run my own company. So it'll give you a sense of befores and afters too. I had an interior design firm here in Los Angeles for 20 plus years. That was very successful. And I would wake up not knowing. And then I basically had to start waking up saying hello to the new me. And that's part of what helped me come to a place where I would talk into my phone to survive, because I would be told, or asked, I should say, would you like for something for lunch? I'm like, I already ate. Like, no, not today. I'm like, no, I did. I had lunch. And I was like, no, I ate. And she's like, no, that was yesterday. Okay. And so they had, it was like this cycle of kind of relearning that I didn't know what was happening over
Mhm.
and over. And all I could do was grab my phone, talk into it, and take pictures of everything to remember my existence. And that's where all of this started, is that I was just trying to share to myself how I can survive. Like, okay, what do I remember? What did I do? And that over and over again showed itself and kind of guided me through the pain, whether it be mental or physical, because it was both. It
Yeah.
was all kinds of layers of pretty severe trauma, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
that answered your question.
Yeah, so you kind of you're telling the story to yourself over and over, and you're helping to rebuild your own self back up. What made you wanna take it to a broader audience? What made you wanna start sharing it with other people?
Um, I had a really amazing moment where I woke up and I was, I would say, being spoken to or through, but I woke up just like, finish your book. And I remember shaking my head and I kept hearing that a few times. And I'm like, I called my best friend and I said, I don't, I know I'm learning to read because I had to learn to read again. I mean, learn everything. I had to learn
Yeah.
how to use my phone, how to read, you name it. It was a reboot. And I'm like, I'm learning to read, but I can't read a book yet. And I said, so, finish your book. And I said, I don't get that. That's what I said to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, a lovely human being who's been through a lot with me through all of this. And she's also this major producer. And she's like, Shannon, have you looked at your phone? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I use it all the time. She goes, you need to look at your notes. I said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Because you have like 300 in there." And I said, "I do?" Like, I didn't even think about it in those terms. And I just got led in these beautiful guiding moments. And, I eventually started looking through and re-listening to, because I listen to most things. And that's what led me to want to share like how I made it through to the other side. Because
Yeah.
when my accident happened, like, my daughter was said, "She's gonna look in out a window the rest of her life, I'm so
Mm.
sorry." Like, they had no idea what was coming back, and, um, and I was just like, the the badass in me was like, woke up every morning like, "What can I do next? I wanna learn to go to the bathroom by myself." I mean, like, small stuff, but, like, to me, major. I want to not have to pee in in a diaper. I wanna be
Yeah.
able to get myself to the toilet, and it was like these again, they were all these, like, moments that seemed probably ridiculous on the outside view, but that's all I could focus on is,
Mhm.
like, trying to achieve and get a little better and a little better. And I've been able to, and that's what's sitting here today.
I love that. What do you love about now being a speaker and an author, and what are there any challenges that come with that as well?
Oh, tons. Tons in the sense that, I still deal with a lot of short-term memory limitations.
Mm,
So,
mhm.
I know to be able to live my life, I have to do, certain things that, to remember and to note and to make important things in my brain recovery. And that I've had to get comfortable with the idea that if I don't do things a certain way, I might forget, and it's okay
Mm,
that I forget, and it's okay that I have to start over or I have missed something, and it's giving myself so much kindness in living my life, and that part is probably been that was the hardest hurdle to get over-ish at this point. I'm sure there will be many more, but, that was a difficult I don't know. I say that it was difficult, but it wasn't because I had to do that for quite a while around a lot of recovery. So I think I got comfortable in being the new me.
Yeah.
And I think all of us, hopefully, can learn to see ourselves differently each day, be able to give ourselves the freedom to see ourselves and not worry so much about what has happened or what's going to happen, but what it is happening. And that was that was a big lesson for me. This present moment is all I care about. This conversation is all I care about. But the befores and the afters, I can't focus too much on,
Mm-hmm.
because that gets messy.
Yeah. Do you think being a speaker gives you any, like, is that an advantage for being a speaker? Just being able to be so present in that moment and
I think
focus in on that one thing at a time. And because I mean,
I've
a lot
had
of us have that background noise that's constantly going, and we are thinking about, well, let's think about earlier today, let's think about later, and being able to just kind of
befores and
zone in. Yeah, yeah.
it's a gift. I mean, for me, it's a gift. My as horrendous, let's say, my accident was,
Mm-hmm.
it was a gift because it allowed me to slow down and see myself clearly and in a different way. And I'd say that teaching myself, which my goal is to hopefully help others learn to live present moment by moment instead of so and it's not confused by, but it's just we get a lot distracted by the
Yeah.
befores and afters of everything. And if we can focus on the here and now for any part of our life, especially for me, what I found is a good way to kind of continue in my life was anything that would come into question, like relearning something or who to talk to about something, any of that, I would I would have to just kind of kind of came to this place. I did come to this place where I'm doing it right now. I'm shutting my eyes because sometimes I need to block the distractions that my vision gives me. My vision, my one eye, which now I'm used to, um, and focus in on this this moment and how it speaks to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in question about something, I ask for help. And that's sometimes hard for us to do, no matter what we're physically, mentally, emotionally going through is staying present, listening, and knowing that we may not have the right answer and it's okay to have the wrong one. But just to do it a little bit at a time, do it in this present moment and then stop. And if you're not sure, I find there's this very easy yes, no, maybe question I ask myself. And I think it's as well been part of how I have survived is whenever I would feel any type of pain, whether it be mentally or physically, because I've gone through a lot of the ins and outs of that. I would just sit there and I'd say, I'd ask myself, yes, no, or maybe, and I'd let the instant answer come to me. Okay, yes is yes, great. No is no, great. Maybe is not right now. And being okay with those answers when I felt confused.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple thing, and so we could do it right now with you if you want, like, something that comes to mind that's in question for you, and you internally asking yourself, yes, no, or maybe, let the answer come. Could be any part, anything, and then getting comfortable with that being the right answer.
Yeah. Very much just kind of sitting with it and sitting with that gut feeling, that intuition. I had to relearn to trust my gut and to trust my intuition after some things that I went through. And it was very much like you do kind of have to sit there with it and be like, okay, because I'm going, is it a yes? Why is it a yes? Like I'm trying to put
Yeah.
that logic behind it. And sometimes it's hard to just go, no, it's just a yes. Or no, it's just a no. And that's
Yes.
hard, especially if the no is impacting someone else. I have kids, you know, everything. And it's
Mhm.
like, if that no is impacting someone else, just having to say like, nope, no is no. That's it. That can be really difficult for me. It was really difficult for me. I've gotten better with that now, but it took years. It took years for
Yeah.
me to be okay with sitting with that.
When you were just saying that, what the question that came to me, which came to me often, was it didn't come to me often, but I had to learn it, was my self-care. That
Mhm.
my self-care became my first and foremost. And I remember a therapist at some point saying, because I was so worried about how I affected everybody and how, how this hurt everybody and how can I fix it and how can I do better? And she said, Shannon, just focus on right now, this right now, not what happened, not the accident, and not what you get in the back end, but just focus on right now. And I will never forget that because that was like over and over in my head about staying present, you know?
Yeah.
And um, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, wait, I was going to ask you. See, I was going to ask you a question. Now it hasn't come back to me yet.
That's okay. I
It's
mean,
okay.
I think it can be really uncomfortable to so as a parent, I do try to make sure that my kids understand that like yes is yes, no is no. Maybe is either not right now or leaning one way or the other, but you need to figure it out. It can be hard to explain to them like yes is a full sentence and no is a full sentence. And if you want the logic behind everything, we can talk about it, of course, because my kids always have the right to question me. That doesn't mean I'll change my answer, and I almost never change my answer. But they can talk through it. But it can be really
Uh-huh.
difficult to within yourself. And you brought up self care. For me,
Yes.
whenever I was first trying to implement self care, my therapist also was like, nope. Self care is not optional. Like self care is something you have to do, or parts of your life
Necessary.
are not gonna. Yeah, parts of your life are gonna not be what they should be. And so, just being able to say like, okay, yes, I am gonna do that today is really difficult sometimes. So I get that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But it's the most important. And I still have to find myself reminding myself that my self-care, because the other part that she put on that, which I'm sure you have heard before, is that, the more self-care I give, the more I fill my cup, the more I have to
Yes.
give. And that's something we forget, especially as mothers,
Hmm.
or as a very intense businesswoman, and taking care of others. I was so good at in my interior design firm, in my life, all my decisions, all my employees. Like I loved taking care of others, but my self care, that was not really a priority, and I needed to learn how to do my self care first to be able to
Yeah.
give to others bigger and more impactful in a way. So, yeah, I think
It's easy to put it kind of back burner.
it is, especially as a mom. I think we kind of try to put them first in a
Yeah.
way. Um, and there's again something that I have learned on the back end of my accident with my daughter of things I would hide and I was embarrassed to say. And traumas that I had as a child been through, and that I mothered her in a certain way, and she never quite understood why I put so many boundaries up about what she could do, where she could go, who she was with. And post my accident, I um, explained to her that I was abused as a child. I never wanted her to be abused. And I wanted to make sure I put up all the boundaries to make sure she didn't get abused because I think I had some control. I mean, we do, but I think I overprotected her,
Yeah.
and she didn't understand that. And now, post all of this, I've been very honest with her, and it's built a new relationship for with us
Mhm.
because she's like, "Oh, now that makes sense."
Everything clicks
So,
into place a little bit.
interesting. It does. It did. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite game you love or feel that more people should take the time to try out?
Um, I I'm I'm a I I'm a big I haven't regained it super well, but I'm, why can't I think of the word? See, this is one of those moments, and it's my neurologist tells me, "Shannon, it's in there, just keep digging it out."
Yeah, it's all good. We're not in a hurry here. It's just fine.
No, hmm, I can visualize it, and I can't think of the word. Backgammon, thank you,
Oh,
there we go.
okay. Yeah.
I was a big backgammon player when I was growing up and as a young adult, and I have always loved that, and so I do it a little bit, but my goal is to do it more again. But I love the concept. It's simple, but I like that, um, again, it takes another person. You could do it online, but that's, I think, one of my favorites. It
Yeah.
will be again.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Backgammon is one that I know I've seen it. I've never thought about that you could play it online though. Like that's not one that I've ever considered that they would have something online, but of course they would. Like why wouldn't they?
I think they have everything online now, but
Yeah.
yes, I haven't
Yeah.
done the online version. I have the boards, and I love the concept of like opening it and placing everything in its right places. But yeah,
Does your daughter play with you? Oh. That's okay.
no, I mean she
My kids won't play some of my favorite board games with me because they're like, "No, mom, you're ruthless. I'm not going to do it."
had. No, she doesn't. It's a good question, but no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we used to play tons of obviously games as when she was a child, but yeah, not I think she knows how to, but again, that's a good question. I'll have to try that again and see if she will play with me. I like it.
Yeah. I just picked up a new two-player game that I play with the kids and the kids will play with themselves. And it's really cute and really simple. And it's
Uh-huh.
called Boop, B-O-O-P, but it's
Okay.
cats. And it's cats on a little
Oh,
mattress and they're bumping each other around. It's a very
I haven't
simple game. It's really well designed and the rules are very fun and it's one of those things that it's like the kids just have a blast with it and it only
oh,
takes 15-20 minutes to play one game with one
uh-huh,
other player and it's
uh-huh.
really adorable. So if
Nice.
you have someone who is like, I don't know, board games, I don't know, that one's a really
I
good
know.
one to be like, wait, hold on, I have a fun one.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna make a note so I don't forget.
Yeah,
Spell
it's
it for
really
me. B O.
BOOP, just like you boop someone on the nose. That's what it
Okay.
is. It's really adorable.
Thanks.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
Can
I'll
you?
try it. Let you know.
Yeah, let me. If you do try it, please let me know. I am in
I
no way
promise.
affiliated with this game. I wish I was, so that I could be like, yeah, this game is great, and I helped with it. No, but it's fantastic. If you try it, please let me know what you think because I think it's wonderful.
Thank
So, can you take us back to the day of the accident and also kind of take us through what your recovery looked like in the early months?
So with my brain trauma, um, it was so severe that I have no memory of my accident,
Hmm.
which is a good thing. I don't want that back
Yeah,
because
no.
what I've been told is messy and gnarly. Like I don't ever want to have the memory of what has happened to this body and this brain because I was in again a motorcycle accident. There was a somebody on Pacific Coast Highway did an illegal U-turn,
Oh,
went into me so severely that it threw me up in the air like 30 to 40 feet,
mm,
plopped me head first back down on the ground to the point where I probably shouldn't be sitting here. But there happened to be an EMT on the beach with his wife who ran up. There happened to be a car near the front of where it happened that turned his car to block everybody from rolling over me.
wow.
So those were the first two miracles that to me happened. And it was so severe that the EMT is like, "You gotta put her in a helicopter or else she's gonna die." So they got me in a helicopter, drop shipped me to UCLA. And then they had to keep me in a coma for a few months because my brain trauma was so severe for the swelling and put my body back together. So I was in the UCLA hospital for a few months. And then, nursing hospital and baby steps into all the repairs of my body and my brain. And then um, approximately a year and a half later, I was doing the, womanly thing, getting your mammograms and all the fun stuff at a certain age, and breast cancer. And
Wow.
I literally got that phone call, like, 'cause, you do the this is and that's and get the tests, and then I got the phone call, and um, I remember laughing. Like, you don't laugh when somebody says you have cancer, but I had been through so much, I started laughing. I'm like, I'm like, if my life was gonna go, that's not it. I literally started laughing. I thought it was funny, and then it wasn't because it was, I called my daughter, and at this point she was in college still, and you know, I've got some other things to take care of, but I remember saying to her, "I really wanna focus on my brain and my body recovery. I don't want anything to get in the way." And she's like, Mom, cancer comes first now.
Yeah.
You have to put all of that aside and deal with the cancer." And, so I needed to, and I went in and did multiple surgeries and, the process of radiation and a lot of back and forth, but I'm doing well. But I think my lesson for that, at least the thing that I think I learned from it, is that it doesn't matter what you've been through.
Hmm.
When you think nothing else can happen, that's not the right answer. Just be open that, even being broken doesn't mean you can't be broken even I don't know, a little bit more or a little different, I would say, and take everything. I think I needed to take everything a little bit more coherently, like,
Mm.
again, I say to you, I laughed when I got the call. Most people don't laugh when they get the call that they've got cancer, you know? And I had to learn that we're not done yet. So went through all of that, and now, I'm still working on my body and my brain recovery because I got to get back on that on that, but, it's been a crazy 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned
I had to learn to
earlier.
drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
You
if you're having to learn how to read and write, I would imagine walking and then driving and like all of it, everything. Oh,
again, everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And you don't
mentioned,
realize how much
yeah. You mentioned earlier that there was a lot of physical healing, but then also mental healing as well. When did you first realize that healing wasn't just physical, but that there was a lot of emotional and mental healing you needed to do as well?
that I think really became present and obvious when all I was focused on was getting things back. And I thought, if I work hard enough, I can get everything back. And
Mm,
I realized that wasn't what I needed to focus on. It wasn't about what I had lost or what I had to rebuild, but actually just staying present with who I am today. And I had to learn to see myself differently. Again, some things are more obvious, like eye patch, didn't wear that before. Um, but it's hard to see yourself differently, you know? And I had to come to a place where I could wake up in the morning and just look outside and see the birds and be like, "Oh, that's a good day," and find joy in the present moment, no matter what I felt physically or mentally. And that was a huge part of my recovery, my emotional recovery, I'll call that,
mm,
was just being able to see myself differently. And I did how things looked was my business. So interior design was like right angle, right look, and I can make everything look good. And to come from doing that for many, many, many years and doing it really well to looking in the mirror and seeing what I'm looking at differently, that was that was a huge hurdle to get over and not over, but weave in and out of, I should say, because it's not
Yeah.
like everything goes away. Um, and I think that's when I was allowing myself to be this new me.
Yeah. You talked about having to kind of just reconcile things. Was there ever a point where you just didn't recognize yourself anymore? Was there any kind
Oh,
of
forever. I
yeah.
mean, a huge chunk of time, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yes, I didn't like that I couldn't understand what was happening to me,
Mm,
and that was really difficult. How I didn't have an answer how to solve things was really difficult, because we all try, I think we get taught that if we do this, we get that, and there's a this for that, and part of that is it's it's true, but it's not who we are, and it's always been trying to remember that who I am today and what I do today is all that matters, even on the bad days, even on the painful days or the depressing days. It's still messy, it doesn't go away, like, the ins and outs of the hard days and the easy days, these are much easier physically and mentally, but there's it's not like you solve how to live. You just have to
right.
learn how to flow with who you are, and that is that that again is not an easy thing for us to do as women, as human beings, seeing ourselves differently and clearly in each and every moment. It's not simple. Even though it sounds simple, it's not, you know?
Yeah. You talked about laughing when you got your breast cancer diagnosis. How long after your accident was that?
It was about a year and a half after my, motorcycle accident. Yeah, and then I went in and I was like I remember answering, "You have to do this or that," and it was like surgery or radiation, and I'm like, "Oh, one surgery and that's it?" And, like, that's how I viewed it. I'm like, "I can go in and get one surgery and be done-ish." That's what I thought. And then and then it was messier. Like, they went
Yeah.
in and they pulled out what they could, but then there's like, oh, and I also, I don't know how to call myself at that moment. I had small, breast work done
Mhm.
post my having my child, because I didn't like how things looked anymore.
Yeah.
And so when they went in to, take out the cancer, part of the cancer was attached to my implant, and they
Mm.
couldn't take out the implant without asking me, and so they had to, like, close me all up, take out what they could, close me all up,
Oh,
and say, "Hey,"
no.
because it was worse. It was like, oh, they thought it was stage 1 and it ended up being, closer to stage 3, and and so the picture changed,
Yeah.
and so another surgery. And then it was so severe, they're like, "I don't we're gonna probably need to do chemo and radiation." I had to go through this whole cycle of, best case scenarios. But I remember also remembering like, for me, post all of it, I don't I don't care what these look like
Yeah.
anymore. I care about this human being, and you do what you need to do. But less surgeries, less action as far as what I need to do to fix it. Let's do that one. Um, and that's again, it's different for all of us. How we perceive ourselves can get very messy and get in the way. And I think that's, again, a difficult way to live, but it's
Yeah.
hard for us as human beings in this world of what we see and what we think and what we want, that we put priorities on things that aren't super important, and I don't do that anymore, which I love. I love that, this is me. This is what you get. I bought it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Do you think that journey you were already on, do you think that helped prepare you for getting breast cancer and or recovering from the surgeries that you went through? Or were there any not benefits to already having
There
gone
were,
through so
there were.
much, but yeah.
Well, the benefit was, again, that I thought I was good. I thought that nothing more could happen so
Mhm.
severe like that. Like, after everything this brain and body had been through, nothing could be worse than that. But something can, and it again, the lesson was that don't take don't take your life as fully done. You're still learning each and every day, and I think I had thought that I was done, that I had survived, I'd been through the worst, um, and that was enough, and now I don't. Like, now I just assume that this moment is perfect, this moment is for today, and tomorrow's gonna be great or not great, but I have no idea, and I can't do anything but be the best I can be today to be the best I can be tomorrow, and there's strength in that. There's strength
Mhm.
in that, philosophy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, not everyone has the ability to just be like, "You know what? I did my best today. I'm gonna do my best tomorrow. Tomorrow's a different day than today. It's a different opportunity." Not everyone can connect that. Not everyone can say like, "Okay, I'm gonna do my best today. Yesterday sucked, but today doesn't have to suck." Like it's
And it
not something that
might,
everyone
and
can do. And it might, yeah.
well, and the acceptance of it sucking is that was actually another thing that was really given to me, is understanding that the dark and the light, the heavy, the painful, it's all equal. Like, the bad days are just bad days, but they also teach you. You also gain from all of that. And so it's the dark and the light in each of us that I did not know how to see myself as dark, or see the darkness that had happened already to me, like even with my abuse as a child. I hid that. Like, if I can hide that,
Yeah.
nobody can see it, that'll make it better. And that's just not that's not growing from your experience, and each and every one of us have things that we need to learn and grow, and we go on repeat sometimes with certain things. Like, we don't even realize we're on repeat, but we can be if we're not open to the idea that we haven't learned our mental lesson.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that you have also focused a little bit on neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rewire and adapt, and for obvious reasons, right? How did the
Yeah.
idea of neuroplasticity change the way that you approached
Aw,
recovery? I know he wants my attention.
damn it. He's in charge.
Yeah, I know, I know. Cats always are. But how did
They
neuroplasticity, how did that play into your approach to recovery?
I so amazing neurologist, like, just my brain doctor. And again, it's one of those things that you hear and you don't realize, but you have to keep remembering. It's like when you learn a lesson and you have to keep remembering that lesson. Is he kind of was just like, Shannon, it's all in there. Just keep digging it out. And when I get frustrated that I can't remember something, or I can't do something, or I'm learning something that seemed so basic before, um, I just have to keep saying, it's in there. It may not be today, but it's in there. I can keep again creating the pathways to the brain that knows all of this. And it's been slow steps into progressing through not knowing and not understanding or not remembering, and giving again yourself the freedom. At least I've given myself the freedom that I'm still learning. At I'm 56 now. I don't look it, but I also am now like natural hair, which I never knew I didn't have gray, which is crazy talk. I used to be a redhead. You have to look at some images of me before my accident. But yeah, where was I going with that? Neurologist. So, um, basically creating the new paths to what's already in there is what I try to teach myself to keep remembering that it will and it has gotten better and better
Yeah.
as I keep progressing in my life. And I think that's with anybody dealing with any brain trauma, no matter, you know, traumatic brain injuries, they can come in from so many different levels for so many different reasons. But the, giving yourself the understanding that it's okay to be different, and um, you may remember, you may not, you may learn, you may not, but it's a spiritual lesson as well. Is
Yeah.
for me, I sit with a lot that things are spoken through me and to me, and I listen to not always now the words that are said or the things I can remember, but the intuition of being present, and that speaks loudly to me. And when I focus on just that, um, it empowers me. It gives me strength. Yeah.
It sounds like you really just know that your brain has what you're looking for, and you're just helping it build those pathways again, which is something that I feel like if more people understood, like yes, your brain has it. Your brain has those lyrics from 2000, but it also has the math from 2000 from when you were in school, and like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all in there.
Dig it
You just
out.
have to figure it out, dig it out. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. But I can't stress, you mentioned having a good neurologist. I can't stress
Yes.
how important a good neurologist and a good therapist are. Like for me,
Huge.
the biggest thing that's made an impact for me is finding a good therapist. For my son, for my 12-year-old, the biggest thing that for him has been finding a good neurologist. And once you
Yeah.
find that good provider who is really going to help you get on your level and understand and help you figure things out for yourself, and just be there to support you, like those two things, GPs and OBGYNs and like all these different things. I well, for my grandfather, it was a good oncologist, right? So I guess it depends on what you need. I don't necessarily need a good neurologist, but my 12-year-old having Tourette syndrome does need a good neurologist. And so it's like you got to figure out what provider is the most important to you and which one can make the most impact. But just getting a neurologist who will get on your wavelength is really important.
Huge. It's huge to be seen and understood,
Yes.
no matter what your brain limitations might be. And we all have brain limitations, no matter what we've been through. It's important, and there's a and you kind of think like neurologist, kind guy. Not always. You think that maybe if they're working on the brain, how can they really have like the softness to
Yeah.
understand what you're going through? But they do and they can. So if
Yeah.
you're in the hands of somebody that doesn't feel that way, move on. Find somebody who
Yes.
sees you and can communicate to you with your needs. And there's so many different variations of those with the brain.
Yes.
Yeah. I personally am very grateful. He actually did this beautiful quote that's on the cover of my book that I'm so proud of. That he can't even believe my recovery, and he's like, "Whoa, let's make sure this is seen. Let's get this out into the world because this was not going to happen."
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say this was not going to happen, but he always continually gets surprised at my recovery. And again,
I
that
love that.
support alone,
Mhm.
yeah, it fills the heart.
Yeah. Just the recognition of like someone else validating how far you've come and how much you've achieved has got to feel fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It does. It
How
does.
do you handle now when your brain injury or PTSD symptoms or anything like that? How do you handle when those flare up for you?
A good question. I do this. I try to remember that sometimes I can't do anything about it. and I have to find kindness with whatever I'm feeling, whether it be physically or emotionally. Um, because for again, what I believe is for all of us, we all have difficult times,
Yeah.
traumatic moments, uh, difficult roads to travel through. And I think there's an equalness to everybody. We all, in our own ways, go through and step through life in a way that is not always easy. And some days are good, some days are bad. And it, none of that goes away for any of us. We all are sitting here um, doing the best we can. And that's having the I'm doing the best I can today attitude for myself, even when it hurts or it's upsetting or I don't understand it. I still have to just sit with that bad day. And then just I wake up sometimes the next day and be like, okay, we're gonna try this again. And then, and sometimes that will extend a little bit, sometimes it won't. And but again, seeing ourselves new each day can be a good way to start our day, and just not waking up with what has happened being who we are, because that's not always easy, but
Hmm.
it's there's a freedom there, I think, and I think you do as well. There's a freedom in not holding on to so much stuff, befores
Yeah.
and afters. At least I feel that. I don't know if you do, but
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, everything you've been through, sure, it influences who you are and how you behave and how you react in some situations. But you also have to remember every moment of every day, the words you say, the things that you do, that doesn't make up who you are. That's not necessarily your character. The things that are happening around you are what is building your character. And it's how you interact with the world. And everyone's going to make mistakes. I actually just had this conversation with my 12-year-old not long ago because of something that happened at school. I was like, look, everyone's going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to say things they don't mean. Everyone's going to do things that they don't really mean. Everyone's going to have something happen where they look back and they go, oh shit, I wish I hadn't done that way. And it's how you act after that that really builds your character. But you have to move past it. Like you have to move through it and you have to move past it. And I don't
Yeah.
know if he took that on. Obviously, he's 12. Like, it's hard to take things on and learn those
It's hard
lessons.
to
But
not hold on to things if yeah.
yeah, yeah, very much.
Even the idea to teach your children to not hold on to everything
Hmm.
so tightly, that's a gift that you're giving him. Like learn that this will pass, or mistakes will happen, and we none of us are perfect, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
also very much
yeah.
like do as I say and not as I do, because I hold on to everything. I
So
try not
you have to
to.
learn here. Yeah, but I think again, with no matter how you twist it with raising children, we learn about our limitations and our difficulties, and we still need to grow and learn from who who we are and how we respond within that world that's teaching us about ourselves,
Yeah,
just as much as we're trying to help raise them in a certain way. They're helping raise us back in a way, to me. I mean, that's I think what we gain from that as well. If we keep our eyes open and accept that, that life isn't always easy, and no, we don't have the right answers, but boy, that was a lesson from a 12-year-old, you know.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I've learned a lot just being a mom. I've learned a lot from the moment my oldest was born. Like I have grown so much, I have learned so much, and I of course have it hasn't always been easy or rosy or anything, but yeah, it's taught me a lot. A lot more than I would have learned if I hadn't had kids. I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes that's not a
It's
good thing, but sometimes it's a great thing.
yes, sometimes it's not easy, and a lot of times it cannot be easy, but
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty too of life. If you can look at your life, no matter what is in it, whether you have children or don't have children. Like for me right now, I'm looking forward to having a partner again. Like, I've been living my life, um, in a very single way,
Mhm.
and I look forward to, like, sharing my life with somebody, and I think that I had one of those moments again where I got lost.
That's
Sorry.
okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Um, oh, I'm back. Uh, um, is that, um, is that there's see, I got lost again. Darn it.
That's all right. That's okay.
I know. It is. I have to give myself, again, kindness when I'm like, "I had something important I wanted to say.
Yep. Yep.
Where'd it go?"
If it comes back up, it comes back up, and that's all right. But yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it's very much there's a lot you can learn no matter what is happening in your life. Kids, no kids, anything, any situation that you're in, there's a lot that you can learn if you're open to it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we're all here for some reason or another, and being open to it and gaining and learning is, not always easy, but it definitely there's there's a beauty to it if you can put that as your goal. Like,
Yeah.
what did I need to learn from that?
Mhm.
What did I gain? What can I teach? What can I share? And again, that's why I wrote the book I wrote, is like I woke up from such chaos and trauma that I wanna help others. That's my only
Mhm.
goal now. I am now a, person who I'm disabled still. It's not like, I have limitations, and I was just like, "I wanna help others. I wanna
Mhm.
help others," whether you be holding the hand of somebody who's going through something, whether it be brain trauma or cancer, or whether you're that person that's supporting or the person that's going through it. Both sides are so important, and I wanna help others in any way I can to learn that it will be okay. That make
Yeah.
however you twist it all up, there will be a reason why this is happening and why it has happened, and that is my daily goal as well. Is just how can I help others? How Who can I talk to, and who can I share my chaos with that might guide them through their chaos? Talk to me. Speak to me.
That's my kind of question. Whose chaos could benefit from my chaos? I love that.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
something small that made a big difference for you during recovery?
Oof. I don't know that there was anything that's small. Like, to me, what just came to my mind is, I went through this needing everybody, taking care of everybody to needing everybody, and learning
Mm,
how to accept help. Um, and then on top of it being accept help from your child who you were the one. We changed positions. Like,
mhm.
I became the child and she became the mother for check, portions of it. But uh there've been big ones that have honestly influenced my recovery, and I hopefully never forget is how to stay open, how to be so broken and so beautiful all at the same time. Seeing myself again, this new fabulous me, fabulous today, maybe not yesterday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See yourself. Like, try to do that when you're watching this. Just see yourself. Don't try to be anybody but you. You're perfect, just the way you are. Broken or not, and we're all broken. Be okay with being broken.
If there's someone listening who is still in the middle of their own healing, what's something you wish someone had told you back then?
Oof. I would say the biggest thing is that it's okay to need and to to find find space within your vulnerability to be able to continue to heal, be be a mess, be broken, but know that there's people that, including yourself, that can self-care and love you and help you through whatever it is that you're going through. I think that's so important. At least
Mhm.
again, that was my self-talk. You're gonna make it through this, Shannon. No, yes, no, yes. Give yourself the freedom to go back and forth on not having the answers. Yeah.
It can be really hard to be okay with needing. I mean, of course, in the instance that you were in, it doesn't sound like you really had a choice, but to need
I didn't.
people. If someone's in a situation where they don't have to rely on other people, are there any
Mhm.
tricks to being okay with needing other people's help?
Again, that goes back to your self-care, like, each day, like, each moment, like, when you have something come up, like, you think of something that's difficult for you to make a decision or the situation, and then just like go back to like staying present. Like, I'd like a drink of water. I'd like a cup of tea. I need to feed my dog. Like, stay present and continue to do that when anything comes to you that's difficult. That alone can be that self-care, whether you have somebody there physically helping you or not. It's like that self-care of you taking care of yourself and staying present, stay present, stay present, stay present. Please learn to stay present. When you have any worries, just think about what you need to do. I need to get up and change my sheets, or I need a cup of coffee, or whatever. Simplify your life as much as you can in those difficult moments. I'd say that's a goal for me every day. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, just being able to say, "Oh, so this is something that I do with myself," and I've tried to get my kids to implement this as well. It's harder with kids, I guess, or harder for them to take it on. But like if I'm having a really stressful day, I'll go, I need to accomplish something. I need something easy that I can knock off my mental to-do list. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change the laundry over. And it's just it's always it winds up being some sort of chore, which is why probably my kids are like, Mom, no, that's lame. But for me, it's like, you know what I can do? I can straighten my desk, and that will bring my stress level down. It will make me feel a little better about my space, and it'll take my mind off of whatever it is that's bothering me or whatever it is. Or, you know what? I need to get up and walk away. I need to go and fix
Yes.
something yeah, I need to go fix a doorknob that's broken in my house
Yes.
or whatever it is, just something little that you're like, you know what, I can just go do this. It's going to take me out of the situation that I'm in. It's going to give me a sense of accomplishment. It's going to hopefully put me in the present, because it's hard to not be present whenever you're fixing something or deciding where things go in a room.
Yes.
And so it's easy for me to say like that works for me. Probably doesn't work for everyone. I'm
But
mostly
it's some
basing that on my
variation of
kids,
that.
but yeah.
But I mean, some variation of that I think does work for everybody. I mean, you're taking it within the realm of your existence
Mhm.
and what's around you. And I think all of us do that on a daily basis. And it makes us all so unique. And it also makes things so difficult because we might be different than others. We might want to do
Yeah.
things a certain way. And it's the freedom that you just talked about is that brings you joy. Think about what brings you joy, and continue to bring yourself joy, even in the painful moments. And again, it can be looking out a window, seeing a bird, or hearing, the the dryer go off that you need to get, and you don't want to get up and do it, and you may not, and that's okay too. Just stay present with all of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that I like chores. But it gives you that
But
sense of accomplishment after you're done.
it also makes you stay present.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it could be, I mean, it could be something you mentioned, looking out the window at a bird or something. Go find your fluffy cat and pet it, or give it some canned food that it really loves, or a treat, or
Yes.
go take your dog for a walk, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be chores. And I should probably frame that to my kids differently and be like, it could be something different, because I just tell them what works for me. Like, that's all I can generally do is say, here's what works for me. And then they stop listening. Which is fair.
Well, and sometimes that moment is, um, what brings you joy? What do you wanna do at this moment?
Mhm.
Like, I'd love to know what that is for you, and, sometimes we, as parents, have to remember to, um, exchange with questioning and letting them share themselves,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know? Yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So Bite Mark sent this question ahead of time. She couldn't be here tonight, but she
Okay.
wants to know, what is your favorite poem?
Ooh, I'm a huge Rumi fan. Do you know Rumi, the poet?
Yes. Yep.
Um And I don't remember anything specific, but Rumi, I have his one or two of his books that I keep by my bed that I sometimes just read one of his. I also, you know, interesting enough, in my recovery and in me speaking into my phone and my book being published, I said a lot of really amazing quotes. And randomly, like, they're creating a quote book for me right now.
I love
I know,
that.
I do too, and I look at them, I'm like, "Oh, that's good," and I'm like, "I said that? Oh, I did, wow." So it's like, I appreciate it, but I even question, "Did I say that?" "Well, yeah, it's sitting right there, you said it into your phone, we printed it out." I'm like, "Yeah, that's good, I gotta remember that one." One of the things that I think, like, what came to me when I was just saying that is the Rumi, but one of the things that I, again, say to myself, and I hope others try to do as well, is breathe, 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 and to pause and just focus on breathing is is a beautiful way to try to live your life. And so those are the words that came to me right now, is like, okay, and breathe, and so it's those small little words that, to simplify your life and your thoughts and your emotions sometimes, like, I just breathe. Sometimes it's like, ugh, Jesus, just breathe. You
Yeah.
know, it's in tone, but it's all equal. They're all equal to each other. Like, just breathe.
Yep.
So that's what came to me.
I have a great friend who her just breathe kind of saying is, I can walk, I can talk, I can use my mind. And it's like, if she's having a hard time, she's like, you know what? I can walk, I can talk, I can use my mind.
Yep.
That's
It's
that's
and
where I
that's
am.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's trying to simplify and not trying to overdo who we are. Like, it's okay. Like that every day. This is perfect today.
Yeah.
May not be perfect tomorrow, but it's perfect today. It may not have been easy today. It wasn't an easy day for me, but it was a perfect day. And I'm gonna do some more tomorrow, and giving ourselves the space to try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are coming up on the last couple of questions. So, folks who are here in the chat,
Okay.
if you have any questions for Shannon, feel free to pop them in there. We'll address them while we're here. But, Shannon, what is your favorite life hack?
Life hack. What do you mean by that?
It could be anything, any kind of shortcut or skill or method that helps with some part of your life. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It could be Talking into your phone, you mentioned a couple of times, or using a certain kind of app, or bouncing batteries to see if they're still good.
Again, mine that we spoke of as well earlier is stay present.
Yeah,
That's my hack. Just continue to stay present and in the moment, and not try to overanalyze and overthink what you do or don't know or what will or won't happen. Just stay present. The answers will come to you. Allow them in.
an excellent life hack. Well, it is time for the magic moment of the stream. So if you could wave a magic wand and eliminate one common opinion or misconception surrounding mental illness, disabilities, or talking about mental health, what would it be?
Ooh, I think I think that if we could all just know that we're all broken, that that's a gift to see ourselves as equal to, no matter what our brokenness might be. That would be a gift for everybody. Like, yeah.
Everybody's got their shit.
Yeah. And it and it and it's beautiful. Like,
Hmm.
again, see the beauty even within the pain and suffering. See the beauty, because that that will let you release a lot of the tension that can come around different things, I think, as well. Yeah.
Most certainly. Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
post your links so that folks who would like to connect with you can do that. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to hand the mic over to you and you can talk about anything you want to throw out there as far as resources or references or anything we didn't get to talk about. I'll just give you the floor for a minute.
Okay. Well, I newly published book, Step Into Your Miracle, which I believe we all are living our own miraculous lives. So, Step Into Your Miracle is my book. Please take a peek at my website because it says a lot about what I think are small ways to recover from the difficult things in life. Yeah. And so stepinyourmiracle.com is my website. And yeah, and I have some amazing speaking engagements and book signings coming out that I'm very excited about, but that's here in Los Angeles. And I know that that's going to start spreading out into this beautiful country of ours. So I'll let you know how that goes. And as those come up, and when I'm near in Texas, I'm definitely said they're setting up something for New Orleans. So hop, skip, and a
Ooh,
jump.
yeah, that's not too far.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a
awesome.
big fan.
Thank you so much for coming on here and joining us. I appreciate you. And this has been such a lovely conversation. Just your story is one of great resilience and rebuilding. And I'm so glad that you're able to join us and share it today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
Well, folks who are here in the chat with us right now, I will be right back. Stick around.